Welcome to Rituals and Ash. Before words learned how to form meaning, before the body learned its own weight, before memory began arranging itself into stories, there was breath. The first trembling inhale was not a decision. It was an arrival. The first release was not a letting go. It was a return. From that moment onward, life learned how to speak without language. Breath came and went without asking permission, without needing to be named, without demanding belief. It has been said that to notice the breath is to notice life touching itself, not as a concept, not as a teaching, but as a quiet intimacy between air and flesh. Breath does not belong to us. It visits. It passes through. It leaves without explanation. And yet, it always comes back. Each inhale gathers what is scattered. Each exhale releases what was never meant to stay. Between the two, there's a pause so subtle that the mind often misses it. Not empty, not held, just resting. In that pause, nothing is required. There is an old understanding that breathing in is simply knowing this is happening, and breathing out is allowing this to pass. So simple that effort cannot improve it. So quiet that only attention can hear it. When attention returns to the breath, the body begins to remember how to soften. The shoulders release histories they have been guarding without rest. The jaw loosens arguments it no longer needs to defend. The belly learns that safety does not always arrive with certainty, but sometimes with space. Here, the breath stops being a tool. It is no longer a practice, no longer a technique, no longer something to be mastered. It becomes a witness, a companion to the way sensations arise without invitation, to the way thoughts appear already shaped, already convincing, already dissolving. The breath does not interfere. It does not correct. It does not rush the process along. It stays. When grief tightens the chest, the breath stays. When fear shortens the inhale, the breath waits. When love opens the ribs without warning, the breath adjusts. There's no judgment in this movement, only response. It is known that to observe the arising and passing of breath is to see the nature of all things. Nothing holds. Nothing remains fixed. Nothing stays as it was. And still, nothing is lost. When the breath is allowed to move freely, discomfort begins to travel instead of settle. Grief softens when it is given rhythm instead of explanation. Fear loosens its grip when it is no longer alone with the body. The breath does not solve the pain. It does not erase the memory. It does not promise resolution. What it offers is quieter and far more durable, presence without demand. In this presence, life becomes bearable again, not because it improves, but because it is met. Breath is the doorway between the world we touch and the world that touches us back. It is the bridge across grief, the raft across fear, the quiet flame that guides without burning. Listen closely. Inhale, a gathering of life. Exhale, the returning of everything you were never meant to keep. When the mind storms, breathe. When the heart breaks, breathe. When the world grows too loud, breathe until the silence beneath the noise reveals itself like a forgotten friend. Breath is the softest place where life begins again, a place untouched by regret, unburdened by memory, unshaped by expectation. Here, nothing needs to be fixed. Here, nothing needs to be understood. Here, one breath is enough. Let the breath carry you. Let it loosen the stories that hurt. Let every rise remind you of possibility, and every fall remind you of freedom. This is the oldest prayer of the human heart. Not spoken, not written, but lived in the tender space where air becomes life. Reclaim the future. Reclaim the soul.